Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 best Cartoon Network shows from the 2000s.
Whoa, that thing went off like it was mad!
For this list, we'll be looking at the greatest television programs that originally aired on Cartoon Network between 2000 and 2009. Sorry, Total Drama and Ed, Edd n Eddy fans, those don't qualify. Did we miss any of your noughties favorites? Let us know in the comments below. Number 20, Class of 3000. At this school, funk and style are both on the curriculum. Thankfully, Class of 3000 passes with straight A's, or rather, Sonny Bridges does.
So here's the deal. If y'all will let me hang out here for a little while, and you promise to bring the fun, I will show you how to put the K on.
He's the new music teacher on the payroll, but despite that, he definitely knows how to get the best out of his students. The show proves as much by delivering headbanging original songs in every single episode. All of them come with their own music video too, although even if you come for the songs, you'll end up sticking around to see more of Little D, Tamika, and the others.
Now Madison, how does it feel when you play your violin?
Like Happy Bumblebees.
They're the reason Class of 3000 has so much soul, and we don't just mean the music. Number 19, Camp Lazlo. This show asks a simple question. How much trouble could a trio of anthropomorphic animal campers possibly get into in one summer?
L-A-Z-L-O! L-A-Z-L-O! L-A-Z-L-O!
Apparently, the answer is a lot. But thankfully, Camp Lazlo thrives upon that chaos. The zany edge to its humor makes it easy to revisit even years after its original ending. And yet, the slapstick comedy doesn't overshadow the show's inherent hominess either. Everything from the warm color palette to the toe-tapping opening theme makes this feel like a living, breathing campground, albeit one with more than its fair share of bizarre excursions. In Camp Lazlo's defense, with these campers, a bit of mischief is to be expected.
Fasten your seatbelts. I'm going in.
Number 18, Evil Con Carne. You could say that Hector's villainy went straight to his head, or rather, his brain, since that and his stomach are the only organs he has left.
I am that brain. My name is Hector Con Carne, and I will one day rule the world!
Hector hasn't let that stop his nefarious ways, though, even though he's now operating out of a sentient circus bear. Really, that setup tells you everything you need to know about this show. It's funny, it's creepy, and it's unabashedly absurd. Yet somehow, each episode tops itself with an even more delightfully weird scheme. The fun isn't in how Hector and the others fail, it's watching them devise yet another hilariously inept plan to take over Earth.
We are on a tight timetable. If we don't get there soon, our plan will fail.
Yeah, I missed the briefing. What was the plan?
Suffice it to say, villainy has never felt so right. Number 17, Hi Puffy AmiYumi. This show rocks in more ways than one.
Can you believe this mob of fans, Yumi? I'm gonna need to put my autographing hand on ice before I hit the sack.
On the surface, it portrays its two leading pop stars with wit, humor, and a metric ton of style. But it's all pulled together by a story that justifies a ton of jaw-dropping musical numbers. That's not too surprising, considering Puffy AmiYumi is based on a real-life Japanese pop-rock group of the same name. They even cameo at the start of every episode. The clear love and passion behind this project is on display in every single scene. It's to the point that, by the time the credits roll, it's hard to resist jamming out right alongside Ami and Yumi.
1, 2, 3!
Number 16, The Life and Times of Juniper Lee. Most of the time, leaving the fate of the world on the shoulders of a preteen girl isn't a great idea.
If I catch you in the park again, you're gonna be wearing these size 3s! Dork.
And her name is Juniper Lee.
But no worries here. Juniper Lee totally has this covered, even when it comes at the cost of her social life. In a way, that just speaks to the show's best quality. Not the flashy action or breezy humor, though that stuff doesn't hurt. No, Juniper Lee's real strength is that its title character is just a normal girl, albeit one who inherits magical powers. One that just so happens to fight monsters in between study sessions and movie dates. The stakes are high, but the conflicts are personal, and you can't ask for a better combination than that.
Okay, whatever possessed me to come to the mall?
Number 15, Duck Dodgers. It's hard to go wrong with the good old-fashioned Looney Tunes cast, but put them in space, and the results are actually out of this world.
Why don't you run outside and unhook us while I do nothing?
Works for me.
Daffy, or rather his alter ego Duck Dodgers, stars as the hero of the 24th century. Lucky for him, his adventures usually end in laughter instead of tragedy. Rest assured though, this is so much more than just Looney Tunes in space. Based upon the acclaimed short of the same name, Duck Dodgers is a tongue-in-cheek deconstruction of the entire sci-fi genre. And like the best of the Looney Tunes cartoons, it lives on the thin line between hilarious and heartfelt.
You know, where I come from, it's customary for law enforcement officers to kiss after they crack a case.
Number 14, The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. On pure aesthetics alone, it's clear that Flapjack is unlike anything Cartoon Network has ever seen before.
Do something!
Aye, Captain!
To say nothing of its actual story. The namesake character was raised by a whale, works with a washed-up sea captain, and journeys in the name of finding candy. The mishmash of styles and tone works better than it has any right to, and a lot of that is because of the sharp writing. The silly humor somehow balances out Flapjack's earnest personality and the series' ludicrous storytelling. The result is a delightful voyage that's far more than the sum of its parts. In fact, you could even say these misadventures live up to their marvelous reputation.
My nose is sore from punching Steve's fist! My bottom hurts from sitting.
Number 13, Megas XLR. No show channels the thrill of smashing action figures together quite like Megas XLR. Sure, there's time travel, an alien invasion, and a slacker teen who's tasked with saving humanity.
Well, they weren't so tough. Who wants a burger? Or 5?
But at times, the plot just feels like an excuse for giant robots to punch one another, and that's a very good thing. While Megas XLR does take its ambitious narrative seriously, it never forgets to have fun with the mecha carnage too. Thankfully, the slick animation lives up to that vision. Megas XLR just might have some of the coolest action sequences in Cartoon Network history, so it's a true injustice that it was tragically cancelled.
Oh man, what button did Coop push to make a whole army show up?
Number 12, Time Squad. This show does the impossible.
Yeah! That was amazing! Where are we now? What is this place?
No, not time travel. We mean turning history into a gut-busting television program. Described as a C student's guide to history, it follows a threesome of misfits traveling through time to make sure the past still lines up with the future. One episode, you're in the Trojan War. The next, you're with the Aztecs. And then you're helping Shakespeare through writer's block. The brilliant premise means there's quite literally no end to the wacky hijinks Otto, Larry, and Buck can get into.
Say, who is this, Napoleon guy?
Even better, every joke is sold by some career-best performances from leads Pamela Adlon, Mark Hamill, and Rob Paulsen. Clearly, this show's success was just a matter of time.
Okay, men, let's show them what we're made of!
Number 11, Chowder. When you order from this catering company, you get an appetizer of intrigue, a main course filled with laughter, and a dessert bound to warm your heart. Chowder's just a chef in training, but trust us, this dish is not one to miss. The show brims with a rare creative wit that makes every installment a delectable meal from start to finish. But that's to be expected when it has characters named Panini, Truffles, Mung Dal, and more. The sweetest of them all is, of course, Chowder himself. His sincere optimism seasons each episode with just enough heart to make it work. For Chowder, 5 stars doesn't feel like enough.
I'm glad I brought along my backpack full of food. Good old food.
Number 10, Transformers Animated.
Transformers, robots in disguise!
We all know the Transformers story. The Autobots are fighting a seemingly endless war against the Decepticons. With the war over, the good guys must hide on Earth to keep the cons from getting their hands on the powerful Allspark. So it's a good thing they've got an excitable little girl and her father to show them around Earth. Transformers fans are split about this series, with its cartoony designs and emphasis on comedy, but others praise it for doing something different.
Why don't you pick on someone your own size?
Rather than a whole army of Autobots, It focuses on 5 repair crew members and their human villains. Topped off with better character development for the bots and cons, this series also has entertaining human enemies and past series references that any Transformers fan can appreciate.
A robot? With an organic mode? Ew!
Number 9. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
You know of or have an imaginary friend that desperately needs a home? Then come on down to Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, where good ideas are not forgotten.
Sooner or later, we all have to let go of our imaginary friends. But never fear, for they're going to a good home. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, that is. From the creators of the Powerpuff Girls, this CN favorite follows 8-year-old Mac and his best imaginary friend, Beauregard Q Kazoo, or just Blue, as they make the best out of life and get into crazy shenanigans with the other imaginary friends.
Blue, stop! I think he's cool!
I cool!
Blue can have a huge ego problem, but he usually gets what's coming to him. That helped fans fall in love with Foster's, and so did its mix of creativity, comedic genius, and well-crafted chaos.
What is he doing? I don't know. Cheese! Cheese! Cheese!
Yes.
Stop it!
Okay.
Number 8. Batman the Brave and the Bold.
We'll make the bestest team ever, Joker and Batman. Fine, Batman and Joker take top billing, but why is it always me compromising for the sake of the act?
Looking for a love letter to the Silver Age of DC Comics? You won't find a better series than this one. More lighthearted than Batman's last few incarnations, this series has the Dark Knight teaming up with a different hero and occasional baddie every week to take on some of the biggest threats in the DC universe, with big musical numbers and mischief from Batmite.
After all, I'm your #1 fan.
My fan.
The biggest.
This series is more campy and comedy-focused than Batman fans are used to, but let's not forget where our Caped Crusader got his start on TV. Plus, the minds behind this series clearly did their homework, fitting in plenty of heroes, villains, and comic book references that true Batman fans love.
I could use a gal pal.
I'm not giving up that easily, Batboy.
Number 7. Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
I once thought I could protect the world by myself, but I was wrong. Working together, we saved the planet. And I believe that if we stayed together as a team, we would be a force that could truly work for the ideals of peace and justice.
With the conclusion of Batman and Superman's animated series, there's only one possible way to continue their heroic adventures, with the Justice League. That's right, not just Batman and Superman, but also Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, and many others come together to form the most powerful superhero team in the universe.
I feel like I live in a world made of cardboard, always taking constant care not to break something, to break someone, never allowing myself to lose control.
United, they will take on any threat to their world, whether it's from old familiar foes or new unstoppable enemies. And these 7 heroes aren't alone in this fight. The League is only getting bigger with the aid of dozens of other DC heroes, even those from the future. With plenty of action and heartfelt moments, this is how you send off the DC animated universe.
Problem? I'm out. Take my extra. Not my style. Suit yourself. I'm planning to live through this.
Number 6. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Bored, eh? I got an idea. Why don't we look into the future? That's always good for a laugh.
What happens when an idiotic little boy and a terrifying little girl beat the Grim Reaper in a limbo game and make him their best friend forever? Complete and utter chaos. Billy and Mandy's friendship with Grim mostly involves them abusing Grim's supernatural abilities for their own personal pleasure. Whether he's satisfying Billy's goofy antics or Mandy's frightening and demanding nature.
Mandy hates me! She's such a jerk!
Along the way, this surreal trio comes face to face with all kinds of bizarre people and creatures, such as the Goddess of Chaos herself, a deranged spectral exterminator, unexpected Hanna-Barbera cameos, and a surprise cartoon meetup. Trapped with 2 brats and surrounded by obscure humor, all we can say is, poor Grim.
I know I'm supposed to be her friend forever, but I never realized how long forever was.
Number 5. Ben 10.
Cool!
When you're a 10-year-old kid spending the summer on a cross-country trip with your grandpa and cousin, you're bound to see all kinds of weird things along the way. For Ben Tennyson, this includes a watch that attaches itself to his wrist and allows him to turn into different freaky aliens.
Ew! This thing's even uglier than you are normally! Pow wow, put a flea collar on this mutt!
But such power comes with a price, and in this case, that price is battling Vilgax, an intergalactic warlord who wants the Omnitrix for himself. But Ben isn't giving up on protecting the watch and the Earth from Vilgax. He's got Grandpa Max's alien knowledge and Gwen's magical abilities by his side on this exciting sci-fi adventure. If Ben's tough to beat when he's 10, imagine how tough he'll be at 15.
Peekaboo!
Number 4. Codename Kids Next Door. In a world ruled by adults, only one organization has the tools and the means to fight back for the freedom of kids worldwide, the Kids Next Door. With their amazing 2x4 technology, nobody gets the job done better than the numbers 1 through 5 of Sector V.
It's always the hard way with you goody-goody little creeps, isn't it? Number 4? Right! First I'm gonna clean your adult-loving, prissy little plots.
But not everyone can be a Kids Next Door operative. Only those under the age of 13 can join up. But once they do, they have to be prepared to face bizarre adult villains, obnoxious teenagers, greedy candy pirates, or worse, the delightful children from down the lane.
Boring! I almost missed those pesky kids next door. Aww, we really miss you guys, too.
With a unique view of the world from a kid's point of view, either you're in or you're old.
We need a plan to get even with those treehouse-wrecking, delightful children from down the lane.
That's your problem now.
Say what?
I can't be a Kids Next Door operative anymore. I'm not a kid.
Number 3. Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Though the Star Wars prequels have had mixed results according to fans, the Clone Wars TV show is a welcome addition to the expanded universe. Taking place between episodes 2 and 3, the series chronicles the Grand Army of the Republic, including Anakin Skywalker and his new apprentice Ahsoka, as they take on the droid armies of the Separatists. Fans may debate whether the show is canon or not, but with what it has to offer, it might as well be.
Sir, me and my batches are trained and ready. We'll take back our post, shiny or not. There's hope for you yet, rookie.
Filled with plenty of action, interesting faces both old and new, and some of the best storylines in the Star Wars expanded universe, the force is strong with the Cartoon Network series, whose later seasons found homes on Netflix and Disney+. Number 2. Teen Titans.
Anchovies?
Can we please just order something?
As long as it's vegetarian.
Come on, man. How can you deny me the all-meat experience?
Dude, I've been most of those animals.
Being a teenager isn't easy, so try being a kick-butt teenage superhero while you're at it. It's one thing to be dealing with insecurities, putting up with each other, and finding that special someone, but now you have to pile on battling evil criminal masterminds and teenage villains in training.
Who are these guys? And what's a clutch head?
We are the Hive.
Your worst nightmare.
And this is attack pattern Alpha.
But through it all, the Teen Titans, Robin, Starfire, Cyborg, Beast Boy, and Raven rise up to the challenge and fight for truth, justice, and pizza. While they go head-to-head with the show's main villain, Slade, among many others, we get to enjoy watching our favorite adolescent heroes grow with every battle life throws at them, for better or for worse. It's just a shame Teen Titans had to go so soon.
That looks like us, but better!
These Teen Titans were about character development, drama, and heart!
I used to be so much cooler!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Samurai Jack.
Destroy him!
From the creator of Dexter's Laboratory and the first incarnation of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, comes the tale of the warrior out of time. After fighting the evil shapeshifter Aku, the nameless samurai is sent to a future where the demon is at his most powerful.
You might have beaten me now, but I will destroy you in the future.
There is no future for you, Aku.
I disagree.
What trickery is this? Aku!
Armed only with his magic sword, the samurai, now called Jack, must find a way to travel back to the past and strike Aku down once and for all. This Cartoon Network show is animation gold, with some of the most creative and gorgeous visuals you'll see, and an atmosphere that serves as an homage to classic samurai films. Throw in an easy-to-follow story, action to spare, and plenty of humor, and you've got such a classic series that received a 5th season revival a dozen years later on Adult Swim.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.